There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone out of the ballpark. A Stantonian home run. Now, what did I do wrong? What did I see wrong? He's at first base.
The Boston Red Sox have won the pennant. The Boston Red Sox earned this celebration here at Yankee Stadium with the biggest comeback in postseason baseball history.
And have you ever used spider tap while pitching?
I don't know. I don't know if. I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of WHPC Sports Talk. The Yankees suck, right, Mike?
You know, I don't want to jump on that. I don't think they suck. I think they have their faults. I think they have their issues. But
I'll say it for them.
Suck.
They stink.
Okay.
They're bad.
Okay.
They're washed up.
I am your host for today, Matt Leonard. With me, I'm joined by Michael Merlo and Anthony Deus. Altered Thursday lineup, but we got a good show in store today.
Well, why is it this lineup? You should explain.
Well, do I have to? Okay, fine.
Yeah, you have to because
I can do it. We were supposed to do the Nassau baseball game at 4 p.m., but they canceled that
because they're wimps and can't play in the rain,
even though it's not raining.
So we're here now. I'm not usually here on Thursdays at all, but I
how's it feel?
Fixed my work schedule around. It was good. I've been here all day. Anthony noticed I've gotten a little tired throughout the day.
You've been here since 7 a.m.
I've been here since 7 a.m., so I am a little tired, but I'm excited. I'll be at the Brooklyn Nets game tonight.
Very nice.
Excited to see Giannis and Durant and Kyrie and my Brooklyn Nets. I cannot wait.
You're Brooklyn Nets.
No, I am officially going to be a Brooklyn Nets fan tonight after I buy some gear at this team store.
Oh,
that's the baptism? That's what that is?
Yeah, it's almost like a baptism tonight, me at Barclays Center. At the Clays, as my fellow Net fans like to call it.
Clays.
The Clays. I'll be at the
He
Clays.
needs to stop. He needs to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing?
That microphone was...
Why must you use this microphone if necessary?
What do you mean?
That microphone was fine.
No, this
works.
Then push it over there.
Yeah, all right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now turn off my...
I did.
Okay. So difficult.
Do I have to explain why I switched mics?
No, I don't really.
I was getting.
Can you explain why you're in a bad mood?
I mean, we know why he's in.
We'll start with that.
We know why he's in a bad mood.
I'm in a bad mood because our Nassau Morning Madhouse show, which you should listen Thursday 7 to 9 every day.
Every day.
We had
people in different days.
We had the bit of all bits planned out today,
and Gordon didn't show up.
And we had a fantastic show, no matter what. I mean, it was unbelievable this morning. But
it would have been the cherry on top.
Yeah. I'm not complaining, though. It was a fun time. And listen, it really does feel like no matter what we're doing, no matter what the topic is, the Yankees for the past couple of weeks now have given us storylines, have given us topics, segments to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You know, right off the bat, it's the story that comes out at The Athletic today about Brian Cashman talking about the 2017 Yankees, and we'll talk about that in a minute and get in detail to specific quotes. But then it's also, which Yankee fans, if you haven't heard, this is really going to make a lot of you mad, that now 21 games on the season, mostly Friday night games, are going to be on Amazon Prime exclusively. You cannot watch them on Yes. They will not be on Pix 11. They won't be on
ESPN.
Prime anywhere. Yeah, exactly. So you have to have Amazon Prime and know how to use Amazon Prime Video to watch 21 of these games this season. And this is they've done these games before on Amazon Prime, but they really just like to give it to the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say one thing about this real quick? Thank you. Grandpa, I know you're listening right now. I'll help you set it up. That's all. Okay, move on.
Yeah.
So your grandfather is a Yankee?
Yes, he is.
You know,
what the hell happened to you?
My dad's a Met fan.
What the hell happened to him?
What do you mean?
Like, unless it's the other grandpa.
No, it's my mom's dad.
Okay.
And his son, my uncle's a Yankee fan. My dad's side's all Met fans.
See, but that's what really stinks about this, is that your grandpa, who does not know how to use, smart TVs.
He knows the Yankees are channel 70 every day, 7 o'clock. Turn it on. That's what he knows.
Right. And these older people, they've learned how to do that. And that's it. That's what they know. Mm-hmm. And they pay a premium to have the sports package, to have SMY, to have Yes on their TV. And now they get screwed again because streaming services, not only because of Amazon Prime, and the Yankees have done a few games on Amazon Prime since 2019, but Apple TV, there's going to be a couple of games on Peacock Sunday mornings.
No. Really?
Yes. So
they're doing Peacock now?
It's Peacock. It's
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, 11
Who's going to go to that?
I'll go to it. They had 11.
Okay.
Not all teams are going to have that, but it's going to be a select few. So they're really giving it to the fans. The Apple TV is really making a lot of people mad. And I have one thing to say about all these games, specifically the Friday night games. When you go out to a bar, right?
Yeah.
These people have, cable television. Now they're going to have to get Fire Sticks, or if they have smart TVs, they're going to have to put, Amazon Prime or Apple TV on Friday night. If you want to go to a bar on Friday night to watch Max Scherzer's first start, how are you doing that? Do they have Fire TV? Fire Sticks?
It's like they want the soulless money. They want the people in the suits that go out to the ball game, that go to the steakhouses inside the ballpark.
That's who the Yankees are. That's who they have been.
Instead of the fans. I mean, you look at the core of the Yankees fan base, blue collar, right? Yep. And listen, Islander fans say this about Ranger fans. They're all suits, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the Yankees are trying to cater to all the suits now. They're not catered to the young fan. I mean, sure, congratulations. You have a Scooby-Doo bobblehead night. Good for you. That's your one way to rake in the youth money. Like, why? The Yes Network is iconic in its own way, right?
Yeah.
And I understand Michael Kay signed that contract with ESPN, right? I understand that.
Just Sunday nights exclusively, though.
And he isn't even the main broadcast, right? He's with A-Rod and that weird Manning cast thing.
But that's so. If we're excluding Peacock, that's 23 games not on Yes Network exclusively. And like you said, you're going out to a bar Friday night to go watch a Yankee game, right? You're gonna have to pay if you're a bar or just a person. You're paying $7.99 for a Prime subscription for what? 6 months? Mm-hmm. So stupid.
Now, I'll say this. Most people have Amazon Prime.
That's true.
Everybody I mean, for the most part, a lot of people have Amazon Prime.
But do they have smart TVs and Fire Sticks is the question.
Do you want to watch it on your phone? You're going to have to watch it on your laptop. Exactly. Do you have access to Amazon Prime on your TV?
Does Jeff Bezos care about baseball? No.
Doubt it.
Does Tim Cook care about baseball? No.
Doubt it.
So stop.
Listen, the funny thing is, Anthony, and you keep bringing this up, how this isn't your father's Yankees. And you know what? You are right about this. And you're right about it for a few reasons. And it's not because of the play on the field.
It's because our fathers didn't have Amazon Prime.
Well, definitely that. But you're not getting the best players out there on the market. That's number one. You're acquiring players. You're spending money. But it's not on the guys we think it's going to be. It's not like the guy that's up at bat right now, Freddie Freeman. You're not getting the Freddie Freemans of the world when they hit the market. You're not getting the Carlos Correas of the world. You're not getting the guy standing on shortstop for the Texas Rangers right now. That's the problem with the Yankees. George Steinbrenner never got outspent, and he's being outspent for specific players, their payroll. And listen, money doesn't always equate to winning. I understand that, but that's the truth. And the last thing, this is, I talked about it yesterday when I called in about the opening day not really being sold out on the first market, on the premier market. On the secondary market, you can always get tickets. You can't go by that.
And that's a good thing. I enjoy that. Yeah. I enjoy it, you know what I mean? It's a spur-of-the-moment thing. Like, as Met fans, you could just go right to Citi Field.
Right.
For Yankee fans, it's a little more planning. It's a little bit more planning, but still the option is there. Hey, you want to go to the game tomorrow? Let's buy the tickets now. That's great. But it's still a statement that, this is Yankees baseball.
I think a majority of the fans, honestly, Anthony, do feel like you. They're pessimistic. They don't feel as excited for the season. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the Mets or just kind of where the team is or how they are compared to other teams in their division. But I don't think Yankee fans truly feel like they're the best team in their division, in the American League, whatever you want to say, in the whole entire league. They don't feel that way, and that confidence is you see it.
And you don't.
The lack of confidence.
I don't want the Yankees to enter Knicks territory where it's as a Knicks fan.
You're not even close. I am
not. Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about the Knicks. I hate the Knicks.
I know.
Knicks fan, but I don't want it to reach the point where my favorite team. I'd rather watch the other team in New York. That's more just a fun to watch team. Like I'd rather watch the Nets play than the Knicks play because they're just more interesting to watch. I don't want that to be the case for the Yankees. I'm not a Met hater. I like the Mets. I'm not a Met hater. I'm not one of those Yankee fans that's weirdly obsessed about hating the Mets. That's just weird. I understand it's the other way around. I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be, but either way.
I don't hate the Yankees. I hate a lot of the fans. The 27 ring fans, I can't stand. I hate them so much.
This is the problem with the Yankee fans. Okay, and I wrote this down.
Oh.
My problem with Anthony.
My problem with me.
Anthony specifically is that, and we kind of had this conversation before.
Yeah.
But the Yankee fan expectation is way too high because when you look at what it takes to win a World Series, a lot of luck is involved. And for whatever reason, the Yankees haven't stumbled into a World Series because the Braves, in my opinion, stumbled into a World Series. The Nationals stumble into a World Series and win it. You need to have talent, but you also need to have a lot of luck on your side. And the Yankees just haven't had that luck on their side. Like you said, since 2009. They missed the playoffs how many times since 2009 to 2022? Once? Twice?
Maybe twice. Yeah. I'm thinking Jeter's last year, right?
How is that possible that you haven't gotten to a World Series in that time and been to the playoffs way more than a majority of the time?
And I'd agree. If we're talking 2016, right? With that run. Fair enough, right? That's okay. If my expectations in 2016 are to win a World Series, I'm nuts. But it's been almost 7 years now. It's been 7 years since this team has taken the next step, right? I should expect them to be almost every year in the championship game, the American League Championship game. Series, rather. The LCS.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even out of the realm of just being a greedy Yankee fan. Just the way the team is and the money that's being spent, they should be there.
And I think the Yankees have constructed a championship-level offense. I do. I think they're going to be one of the top 5 offenses in baseball as long as everything goes to plan. Now, we've seen things not go to plan.
Well, they're not going to. They didn't go to plan last year.
Well,
that's the problem.
DJ has to be better.
Gallo has to be better.
Gallo's a guy I'm not worried about.
Why not?
I wouldn't be worried about him. His track record's too great.
Same with DJ, though.
Yeah, but DJ didn't have that. The thing
He's
with
young.
DJ...
I mean, Gallo's younger, too.
The thing with DJ that I'm not... Why I would be a little more concerned with is because he's had these elite seasons where he's become the Yankees almost MVP. He's become the Yankees all-star just when he got to the Yankees for the last 2 seasons. He was never this good or 2019-2020 good with Colorado. That's the problem.
That's true. And he played in Colorado for all those years. You think his offense would go up.
He was a good player.
He was good, yeah.
He hit 300, but he wasn't
what he was for the Yankees in that almost MVP year.
He wasn't a 900 OPS guy.
No.
He was never that type of guy. So I think the Yankees have put together a good enough offense to win a World Series. Now, their pitching rotation, which is not being criticized enough.
I don't know how to answer the question.
I don't think they're good. I don't think it's good enough.
One last thing, DJ was playing through an injury.
Yes.
And that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
But
it's understandable the way he was playing.
Yes.
It's not. You're not getting 100% DJ.
I brought this up before. Pacoda Projections, who does projections for the win totals for each season, they have the Yankees at 99 wins, winning the division, the second best record in baseball. Now, if you go to Fangraphs, they have them with the 5th best record in baseball.
Do you have those up right now?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Where's the rest of the division have? I mean, not the Orioles, but the rest of the teams.
For which one?
The AL East.
Pacoda or
Yeah,
Fangraphs? Pacoda has the Yankees at 99 wins, the Blue Jays at 91, Boston at 86, and Tampa at 85.
Oh,
I think
I
Tampa,
don't like that.
I think Tampa's being severely underrated here.
agree.
I also think with Fangraphs, Fangraphs has got them at 86 wins.
Oof.
Yankees at 91, Blue Jays at 92.
I see Toronto getting anywhere from 91 to 95.
Right, that's how I see it, and I think the Rays could also be up there too, anywhere in the 90 to 100 win
I
range.
think it's the Rays division to lose at this point.
Well, we kind of count them out every season. We always say,
they find a way.
They're not that good enough, and they didn't make too many moves this offseason, but they didn't do it last offseason. And I remember coming on this show and saying, I think this is the year the Rays just don't win it. They don't win the division. And what happened?
They won the division.
They won the division and won 100 games.
Mm-hmm. The Rays are confusing to me because, like, you're right, they don't make a lot of flashy moves. They don't have a lot of flashy players in general. Anthony, you said it. They find a way to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, that must be so frustrating for you. Making noise. I understand, like this, when I touch the table.
I'm moving the microphone
because of this microphone. Yeah, let me unplug this microphone.
Maybe that's the reason.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that's the reason.
That is the reason. Oh, there goes the thing.
I mean, oh my God, was that annoying? It wasn't your fault. You're right. That microphone was so annoying.
Apologize.
I'm sorry.
A thorough apology.
I am very sorry for blaming you for something that was not your fault.
Thank you.
That was so annoying. It was almost like, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
It was like almost like you're in space, and it was just like something moving around it every time you tap. Oh my God, why was that even on? Oh, because the Pantanos guy was in here this morning. That's what.
What's wrong with Mike Pantano?
No, it was great that he was in here, but we had to use the extra mic to interview him.
Yeah. I know.
But anyway, back to the Yankees. My problem really with Yankee fans is that, and I come down in the middle with Cashman because, again, you would think you'd find yourself in a World Series. Again, a lot of luck has to do with the postseason, but you would think you'd find yourself in a World Series, and they haven't. And I don't know if the past couple of off seasons were Cashman's fault because I don't know if he's had the money to go out there and spend on big guys. But, guys, it's just... The Yankee fans, you're in it every year. You win 90 games. You're in the playoffs.
I would kill for that.
You give yourself a chance every season to win. You have dominant regular seasons outside of 2021. Do you know what I would do for my team to win 92-plus games?
Well, they're going to do it this year.
90-plus games.
But we're talking about the track record of the Yankees does this all the time.
And win the division and be a 1 or 2 seed and play, 3 home playoff games and 4 home playoff games in the divisional round of the championship series. Do you know what I would do for that? To have that consistently happen, you don't know what I would do for that. So that's my problem with Yankee fans is that you cry and complain about not winning the World Series, and yet you enjoy October baseball almost every season. Since you've been alive, Anthony, since you've been a Yankee fan, you've experienced October baseball for the majority, more than the majority of your fandom. I, on the other hand, have not seen that many playoffs.
Get with the victim complex.
I remember 2006 a little bit. I was 7 years old or 6 years old. I remember, obviously, 15, and 16 was 1 game. That's all I have. That's all I have. So I'm not here for the Yankee fans crying and complaining that they haven't won a World Series. I'm not. And Brian Cashman, by the way, you are absolutely pathetic.
We're going to get to his comments?
Yeah.
You want to read the quote out? You want to read the honors?
So, Brian Cashman did an interview with The Athletic talking about the 2017 World Series, ALCS, and how the only thing that stopped us was something that was so illegal and horrific, Cashman told The Athletic. So I get offended when I start hearing we haven't been to the World Series since 2009 because I'm like, well, I think we actually did it the right way. Pulled it down, brought it back up. Drafted well, traded well, developed well, signed well. The only thing that derailed us was a cheating circumstance that threw us off. Really, Brian? Anthony, I asked you this in the other room before. How did you win the 2009 World Series?
A-Rod.
A-Rod. He was your best player, and he was one of the most famous guys. If you think of steroids in baseball, you think of Alex Rodriguez.
Yep.
Cheating. And I'm not going to bring up the 2000 World Series in the 1990s when everybody was on steroids.
Yeah.
But the Yankees had a couple of guys on steroids. A lot of cheating happened. So don't cry and complain about 2017.
And you're calling that horrific? Are you kidding me? A team, we're talking sports here, right?
Yeah.
Something so minimal in the grand scheme of things.
In the world, yeah.
Horrific. That's horrific to you. Please, give me a break.
He's pathetic for even, and listen, 5 years later, okay, fine. But it's pathetic for him to even do this interview and give them these quotes. You sound like you're complaining. You sound like you're crying, and you don't sound good here, Brian.
But You did get a bad deal with the Astros, but again,
Nobody's saying
it didn't happen in 2018.
Yeah.
They didn't screw you over in 2018. Didn't happen in 2019, to our knowledge. Didn't happen in 2020. Didn't happen last year either.
Yeah, you're right. And 18 was a crazy circumstance where he just ran into a team that was destined for a championship in the Red Sox.
Yep.
And 19, you ran into another good Astros team. We don't know if they were cheating or not that year. And then 2020 was 2020. 2021 was one of the worst unwatchable Yankee teams like we've talked about for, in a very long time. But Brian Cashman looks like he's complaining. He looks like he's upset. And to say that he's offended when he hears... I think the biggest thing is just he's offended when he hears about the World Series drought.
Because it's true.
Because it's true. Exactly.
And a lot
Brian,
of it's his fault, according to you, Anthony.
we understand. Nobody sits here and says, oh, well, the 2017 Astros are, real champions. Or, they deserve that. I mean, they were a fantastic team. Don't get me wrong.
There are Astros fans who don't support that championship team.
Right. Many people look at it as an asterisk, and I believe that the trophy should have been taken away. Mm-hmm. But Rob Manfred's a spineless coward.
Piece of metal, whatever, yeah.
That's another discussion for another day.
That's not right, yeah.
But that's my problem with this, is that he sounds spineless. He doesn't make himself look good. There's no scenario in which this looks good. There's none. I don't understand how, and I haven't talked to many Yankee fans about it. I don't know how Yankee fans could even think about defending him here.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
I'm certainly not. And it seems like every time he has a press conference, he's always putting blame elsewhere instead of saying, because there's a lot of decisions that are on him, and I'm sure there's a blame to be put on the players, especially Gleyber Torres last year. He was pitiful. Heaney was a terrible trade last year.
That was a disaster.
Cost us games. The back end of the bullpen at some points was horrific. Not Philly's horrific, but horrific nonetheless. It seems like he's always blaming it on somebody else instead of taking accountability. And that would, if he were to take accountability for some of the bad things he's done, it would get a lot of heat off his back from Yankee fans.
And can I say something about the part where he says in this quote, developed well?
Sure.
How many guys from that team, young core guys, are now here today thriving?
You can't really count in
one.
You can't.
One.
Judge. Right?
Judge.
Yeah.
Judge is the only guy.
Homegrown, yeah.
Because you thought you had Andujar. No. You thought Gleyber was going to be a superstar.
He's not even homegrown. They traded for him.
He's not right now, but I'll still consider that traded.
Yeah, Sanchez is gone.
Sanchez is gone. He ended up being terrible. Greg Bird did not work out well.
Oh, God.
Who else is on that team? What other young guy was on that team? 17.
17.
He's talking about trading well, and that definitely has, Torres, like you said, developed well. All these guys were developed in their system. The point I'm trying to... The point I'm trying to make here is that the Yankees actually haven't developed well. In 17, when they came up, these players, in 16, yes, they developed well. But not after that. They haven't developed well. The only guy that's developed is Aaron Judge.
I think it's ridiculous that he's offended and he's acting, I get he's upset. Everyone's upset. But first of all, still being upset about this is, a little like, come on.
I'm past 2017.
No. I understand that, but this upset for someone that high up in the organization, this publicly, I don't like.
You should be asked that question, to be fair. Why haven't you been back since 2009?
Oh, no, that's a fair question. But I'm saying I don't like his answer.
And
I don't like his answer because aren't the Yankees involved in the sign stealing scandal now?
Yeah.
What the hell is this guy doing?
Not as badly, and clearly it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal if he's going on record like this.
I think I don't like any of what he's saying. I get it. He's upset. He has the right to be upset. They cheated him out of what could have been a World Series or even World Series championship. I don't know.
Any Yankee fan still upset about 2017?
Who thinks they would have beat the Dodgers?
Exactly. They have major. They just have tunnel vision.
The Dodgers that you were amazing.
Here we go. Here's another quote. People are like, oh, we haven't been to a World Series, ... And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's as true as a statement as it could be. Cashman said, we had a World Series team, and either you get it done or you don't.
They didn't.
People don't want to hear that. I get it. But that's real to me, and I think it's real to all of us.
But they didn't get it done. He's not accepting that. Right?
You would think he'd understand that.
Yeah.
You would think.
He just said, people understand, you get it done or you don't. You didn't get it done, Brian.
Can you maybe the calls for his job are unjustified at sometimes.
They are unjustified.
But can you understand
very good.
he doesn't make it easy?
Oh,
for
I
people
totally
to
get that.
say, I'm okay with keeping him around.
I totally get that. It makes you worried.
One of my points that I want to make up when it comes to developing players, and I don't know whose fault is that is, but I'm not going to put the development of players on him. No. He brings in the right players. Clearly, when they came up, they were talented, and for whatever reason, when they got to the majors and they were in the majors for a couple of years, they haven't panned out. To me, that's on coaching. That's on coaching in the minor leagues, and that's in coaching in the major leagues as well. And over the past 2 years, they've made changes to their major league coaching staff. There's no doubt about it. But that's not on Brian Cashman. Now, something I can bring up is that they haven't traded and drafted pitchers well. Now, they've gone out and signed the big-time pitchers, but they've never really done that. I mean, when you think about their history, they've gone out and gotten elite pitching. Mm-hmm. They haven't drafted it. They haven't developed it well. So that's another case to be made here. Now, you have a couple of young guys coming up. Devi Garcia, let's see how he didn't pitch well in the 2021 season in minor leagues. Luis Heel came up, and he was good last season. Let's see how that turns out this year. But they've made trades, they've had swings, and they've hit, but they've also missed when it comes to pitching. In my opinion, I don't believe that they have a championship-level rotation this year. I don't. I think they're going to have to make improvement.
That's the weakest part of their team, the starting rotation, because you're still running out Tyone, who showed you flashes at sometimes, but
he's pitcher of the month.
For a month.
He was good for a month, and he was really good for a month.
But I think he has talent.
He'll give you a dog of 2 months. He'll go on some terrible stretches. Luis Severino, granted he's coming back from injury, hasn't looked fantastic.
The problem with the rotation is that guys like Tyone and guys like Montgomery are good 4 and 5s. Mm-hmm. They're 3s in this scenario. And Severino, who cannot be trusted to A, stay healthy, and B, come back from this injury and be all that productive or, reliable, that's kind of your problem here. And he's a 2.
And I think about Volpe, and I'll get to that in a second, but they put an immense amount of pressure on players, right? Yep. You're putting so much pressure on Luis Severino.
Because of the Yankees.
But he's coming off an injury.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying it's the philosophy of this team. That goes back to what Michael said about the expectations.
But that philosophy's the way things are going. You're going to have to modify it a bit.
I'm aware they have to modify it.
Look at Volpe, right? You're giving he's going to be the one to take the sword from the stone, right? He's going to be the next heir to
supposedly to Jeter.
Right. He's going to be the next Jeter.
No.
I mean, in the sense that he's going to be the next big Yankee shortstop.
Yes, right. He's supposed to be.
But you're putting him in so much pressure, not bringing in a bridge guy. Like you're telling me
I think they brought in a bridge guy. I think I'd say I kind of fell off as a bridge guy.
Didi was the bridge guy supposed to be, and then he's gone.
But the thing is, it's not even that it's the Yankee pressure. There's a ton of pressure being the shortstop for the New York Yankees already, and there's a ton of pressure for being a premier young player in New York City. That's pressure, on its own. The pressure is that they have had opportunities to go out there and get big shortstops and spend money on big shortstops or make big trades to go get other big players by trading him, and instead of that, they're keeping him because they believe the homegrown talent, that production is going to be better than any big-time player they would have acquired or any big-time player that they could have gotten, acquired for money. That's the problem. Like not putting him in a Matt Olson trade or not putting him in a Brian Reynolds trade, who I think is going to be traded to center fielder for the Pirates. I think he's going to be a Padre the next 2 days.
Wow.
So that's the problem with this pressure you've put on this kid.
The whole Yankee shortstop pressure thing is such BS. I get Jeter was, the guy there for 20 years. I get that.
It's not just Jeter. It is just playing a premier position as a young player in New York City for the most historic franchise in all sports. That's it right there. Get rid of Jeter. You're still playing, the prized position in baseball, no matter what league you're playing in, no matter what age you are.
You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's Matt Leonard, Michael Merlo, and Anthony Deus here with you right now, talking about the whole Yankees situation going on in Major League Baseball. I want to get to the Chapman quote you read before we got on the air, Mike.
That was Anthony.
That was Anthony, okay.
That's nice, confusing us.
That was you?
Yeah,
he was reading the Cashman quotes. I didn't know who read the Chapman thing.
Man, you're just confused today.
He's confused.
I'm very confused.
So
he's wearing a Mariners outfit and he's confused.
Help me out.
Okay.
I'm high on the Mariners. I'm going to die on that hill.
All right. So Enrique Rojas.
There you go.
ESPN. I'm Spanish.
I know.
Of ESPN was speaking to Chapman, and Chapman said, "Quote: I thought winning a World Series would be easier with the New York Yankees. That's nice, right?
Easier than what? Look at the Cubs right now. Look at the Reds right now.
You know why he thought that?
Why?
Make the joke. Go ahead.
Because he thought that, I'm playing for the New York Yankees. They must, they are an historic organization. They're going to spend the money that to get the best players and spend it on me and my friends and put, premier players in the right position. But they haven't done that. I shouldn't say they haven't done that. They haven't done it
to the
best of their ability enough. Because when you think, listen, they have, and I've said this before, they have spent money. I mean, they do have a $246 million payroll this upcoming season. They do. That's a fact. You're paying Josh Donaldson $25 million. You're paying Giancarlo Stanton, close to $30 million. You're paying Garrett Cole $36 million. And there's no doubt about it. You pay Cole what he wants. You pay him that contract. I agree with it. I think it's going to be a fine contract for the next few years. Stanton, I never agreed with. I never liked that signing. But that's discussion for another day. You are spending on premier players. That's a fact. Just not as many as you'd like.
And they're not spending in the right way because they're spending on them right now, which it's what you're supposed to do to an extent. I mean, the Garrett Cole signing, I think we all agree, by the end of that contract, it won't look good.
Yeah, but not many long-term contracts do look good at the end.
And you're signing him to compete in this sort of window you built yourself into. You're not expecting him to be 7 years into that deal and be at the top of the game. It's not going to happen.
Right. When you signed him at the end of the 2019 season away from the Astros, who were the AL champs at that time, you believed from 2020 to about 20... When would the deal run out? The deal would run out in 2029, right?
Oh, wow.
So you expected from 2020 to at least 2025, you were going to have a little bit of a window here where he was going to be elite, still a number 1/number 2 starter that could win you playoff games. That's your goal there.
And you wonder why we have expectations to win now. Because you signed him a big deal. You signed the premier pitcher on the market at the time.
You kind of have to win now, right? Yeah.
Right. It's not just me complaining about them being
Think about where their financial situation.
You have to win.
Think about where their financials are going to be in like 2026. I'm not saying that because you said 2025 is prime. So let's say after Garrett Cole starts tailing off a little bit.
Well, I don't know if we should go down this road.
Don't say that with a smirk.
No, I'm saying because we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what the team's going to look
speculation. Like. You're right.
He could be better in those situations. He could be better for longer. Listen, a lot of guys lose velocity, and their stuff is so good, they end up becoming, still very good pitchers. Greg Maddux is a prime example of that.
CeCe figured it out towards the end with the Yankees.
CeCe figured it out as well toward the end of that contract. You're right. But also, $36 million now sounds like a lot. In 6 years, with the way contracts are going, it might not look as bad. It'll still be a lot. It'll still be top 5, players on the payroll for sure. But it's not going to look as. I don't think it's going to look as bad as we think. I still think he's going to be a decent pitcher. It'll be a bad contract eventually. It will. There's no doubt about it. But we can't go down that road right now. We can't.
Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs, and that's what baseball is. But that's too much.
Baseball's a ton of what ifs. And Anthony, again, you want to talk about the Yankees? That's fine. Even worse.
He's really snappy. He's really just snappy.
Even worse, maybe the NL version of your team is the Dodgers. They go out and they do spend money on premier players.
They stole guys from you.
A lot of premier players. They make trades. They make they do big extensions. They make trades in the middle of the offseason for rentals, and they're big time stars. And they re-sign some of these players, and sometimes they don't. Max Scherzer, they didn't re-sign him. But Trey Turner, they're going to re-sign most likely. They made that trade in the middle of the season. They go out every season. They have the highest payroll. Then they make a massive trade in the middle of the season. And they've only won one World Series, throughout this whole time. They've been to a bunch. But do I hear Dodger fans, and I wouldn't know, I don't live on the West Coast, but do I hear Dodger fans, and the West Coast is different. They're not as passionate as us. But I don't hear Dodger fans kicking and screaming, and I think it's been worse. Maybe because they've gotten to the World Series. Do you think if
They won 2 years ago? I know it doesn't count really, but they won 2 years
2020
ago.
was tough. I understand that.
They still won a World Series.
If my team won in 2020, I'd be happy, but I wouldn't be as happy, and I would want to see another one.
That's why they're at bay right now, because they won, and even if they're not full counting season, they still won.
Right, but I'd want to see another one. And Anthony,
I would too.
Do you think it would be different if they had gotten to the World Series at least once or twice and lost? Maybe.
Would you feel better about it?
You'd feel.
Actually, I would. Because I don't know how you
would. You would.
I'm relating it to 2014. And how painful that was.
What, Jeter's final year?
No, the Rangers.
Oh, okay.
I'm relating that my team
so
losing.
What, they missed the playoffs because Jeter was limping around.
Maybe I guess because there's hope in the horizon.
Oh, you're saying the Cup with the Rangers? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe because there's hope in the horizon. If they would have went 2017, got smacked around by the Dodgers, then I'd be like, okay, everything's optimistic. They've been close, which means that they got to be there. They got to win in a couple of years, right? I mean, that's the same thing you had in 2015.
I was going to say, yeah.
I honestly thought in 2015, I thought kind of like the Bengals we said in this past Super Bowl, you better win this one. Good luck.
And I didn't think that. I thought the Mets had built something here, especially with that rotation, that you were going to be able to go out there and.
Well, how could you not? They were the best rotation in baseball.
Right. I thought that was going to be something that a sustained success for a few years.
The offense always scared me back then. Like, I didn't think it was great. I mean, down the stretch, yeah, it was good because they added pieces. But the next year, I was like, this is a shell of the 2015 team, except for the rotation.
2016 was tough because they had so many injuries. They had guys like DeZellman and Lugo step up, and they were huge. And DeGrom was good. And
Syndergaard was great.
Syndergaard was really great that year. So you had guys step up big time. The offense was the offense. You had Cespedes and a bunch of not so great players. Yeah. But
injured David Wright.
But you still had the hope, right?
I had hope.
Yeah.
And they went. Listen,
they went to the playoffs and lost in the game. But
that team went to the playoffs. Somehow got a postseason spot.
Remember James Loney as a Met?
Yeah, he was on the team that year. Yeah. So I find that impressive. I think this Yankee season, because they've had so much, I guess, disappointment when it comes to the postseason, they dealt with a lot. They dealt with injury, they dealt with guys not playing well, and they still found a way to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't what you expected. I don't know. I fall down the middle almost because I see where you're upset, and I see where Yankee fans could be, mad. But at the same time, when I look at it from the scope of my team, you're in it every season, and I would do anything for that.
Yeah, but then again, you have a different perspective than I have.
Because our team sucks, or have sucked.
I didn't want to phrase it like that.
But then,
it's true.
But then I look at what postseason baseball is like, and it's so random. It's not always the best team.
Yeah.
And the Yankees have had very, very good teams.
Were they ever the best team, you think, since 2009 in any season in the postseason? I don't think so.
No.
15, they definitely weren't. They didn't make it 16. 17, you can technically make the... I don't think so. The Astros
close.
Were very
the Astros
good.
were very talented. Even though they cheated, they were a very talented team.
Which brings it back.
The Dodgers were good, too.
And 18, the Yankees were the second best team in baseball.
Behind the Red Sox.
Yep, behind the Red Sox, unfortunately. They were the second best team in baseball.
That was the year.
That was the year. That was their team. And it's unfortunate. But the Red Sox won 108 games, and you won 100, and you made the playoffs. And remember that season, Anthony. Remember the injuries they dealt with. Mm-hmm. That was an incredibly and that was Aaron Boone's first season. Won 100 games, dealt with all the injuries in the world, and then really after that season, you thought you were winning the World Series in 2019.
Well, you know what? Thank God for the New York Rangers for me.
But you see what happens in baseball. Like you see what happens, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's not easy.
That's every sport, though. Every team gets out at the right time, and I'm not trying to single your argument out, but it's every sport.
Cashman has built legitimate teams, very good teams, 100-game winning teams, for crying out loud. He built a very good team in 2019 as well. How many games did that team win? Close to 100, I'm sure.
19?
In 19, they won the division.
I'll look back.
So, and then 2020, yes. And 2021 was a massive disappointment. And now I can
But you can't really count 2020.
I don't.
You have to.
I don't.
I'm honing in on last year.
Yes, that's my
a
comparison.
big year.
And that was a bad
wow.
season. What?
103.
They won 103 games. So we forget about this because of the postseason success hasn't been there. But again, you were in Game 6 of the ALCS in 2019. You won 100 damn games in 2018.
Yep.
And lost to a team that could be the best team in the last 10 years.
They got 108 that year, the Red Sox.
Yeah. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And 17 was 17.
And they were, I hate to say this, but they were a fun team to watch back then.
They were the Red Sox, yeah.
No, yes, the Yankees were an incredibly fun team to watch. 17, 18, 19, they were unbelievable.
I don't know what the hell happened in the last 2 years.
And Anthony, I think your attitude would be completely different if the Rays still won 100 games and the Yankees had, maybe won 94 games and were fun like they were. I think your attitude would be a little different.
But you know what the other thing is? Now I just thought of it. There aren't a lot of players showing hustle.
That could be.
Last year.
That could be.
Sure.
And you
really is turning into the Knicks, huh?
And when you are having difficult struggles, when you're seeing Andrew Heaney on the mound, you really hone in on Gleyber Torres not hustling. You really hone in on Gary Sanchez being terrible at the plate. It's hard to look away from that stuff because it's so in your face.
It's a big part of the game.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Mets? Because
you want to talk about the Mets? Okay.
I was only about to say that. Can we talk about my team for a minute?
Yeah, let's talk about the Mets, Michael.
Because I have a little bone to pick with this team, actually.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little worried about Carlos Carrasco.
Oh, please.
And he wasn't.
Now I get to be like, oh, you're overreacting now.
And he wasn't great last night.
I don't want him in the rotation this year.
Okay, well, that's a big stretch.
Where do you want him?
Maybe like 5th, I'm saying.
That's still in the rotation.
He had.
No, I know that, but I'm saying either 5th or like 6th.
He had a start yesterday in spring training against the Astros. Gave 3 runs, couple of homers in 4 innings, few hits.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. No. And his simulated game and an inter-squad game, it was an inter-squad game. I shouldn't say simulated game. It was an inter-squad game last weekend, I should say. He wasn't good as well. He had like 5 runs. A little worried.
I'm more than a little worried. That's what he looked like last year. Last year he was terrible.
Would you relax, please?
What?
Would you relax? You guys are winning the division. Like, relax.
We don't know that.
See, that's him mushing this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I'm not.
The Phillies lineup is scary.
Just Matt, I got a bone to pick with you, actually.
Oh, no.
Because you said yesterday that the Phillies scare you more. And
then who, the Braves?
Yeah.
They do.
And
the lineup. That's what I said, the lineup.
And I've, come down a little bit on the Phillies. Yes, their lineup
just the offense.
Their offense is really good. They're going to have one of the
Braves are better
lineups in baseball. The Braves lineup is close to them. And then when you add the pitching staff and the overall depth of the team, and then the bullpen, the Braves are better.
What I said was just the offense.
Yeah. I mean, they have a really good lineup, but
yes.
I'm not too worried about them.
Well, the Mets pitching is also best in the league. So.
The Mets have the best rotation in the league, we think.
We hope.
I think they have I think the Mets are going to have a very good bullpen this year, and their offense could be exciting, could be fun to watch.
A fun team in New York, right?
Correct.
Yeah, imagine that.
I mean, I've watched Ollie Marte here in spring training for the last couple of days since he's come back, Sunday and last night. And I wasn't, you guys know I didn't love the signing.
Yeah.
He's too old. I'm worried about injury. And I'm still worried about injury. But man, is he exciting.
He looks good, right?
He looks good.
He's stealing bases. We haven't had that in forever.
He steals bases. He hits the ball very hard. For whatever reason, they're playing him in right field. And I've seen fans, and reporters really upset by that they're playing him in right field. But, man, he looks unbelievable in right field. I mean, it looks like he could win a Gold Glove in right field in a few games that I've watched him. He's that athletic. I think right field will be easier for him. Why are you laughing?
Because Anthony's laughing.
Why are you laughing?
Why am I laughing? Because the other side of the pasture sounds so nice.
That's why I'm laughing at him.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
We said this before we got on the air. If you want to jump ship and convert, we'll welcome you in.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
And you got to.
I have mesh trays I can lend you. Well, you can come on.
You got to take spring training with a grain of salt. That I am. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my God, Lindor looks fantastic." He looked really good last spring too. I just believe Lindor is going to have a good year. That's just.
I can't even. You can't even make the argument with this team that they're paper champions. Like, how we call. And I'm not
Yankees
saying
or the Mets.
No, the Mets.
Okay.
Like we call the Padres every year, paper champions.
Yeah.
It's a solid lineup, even in spring training. Sure, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but just the quality of the signing. Scherzer's not going to wet the bed.
No.
You hope not.
I'm not trying to mush you, but he's not.
I know, but I don't want to mush myself.
I worry about his age and his dead arm from last year.
Who is your 4 in this rotation?
The 4th?
It's Carrasco.
He's your 4?
Carrasco's a 4.
Let me think. So it's obviously the top 3 is going to be DeGrom, Scherzer, Walker.
No, Bassett.
Okay. I forgot
Bassett. Then it would be Walker. Then.
Walker's 4. I think Walker's 4.
That's fair.
I mean, Carrasco's slated to be 4. That's where they have him. It's 4.
I don't like that.
He's making the 4th start of the year. And then Walker 5. Walker came in with a knee injury. It was a little delayed coming in and being 100% go. He's going to be on a pitch count in his first start.
Okay.
So
maybe that's why he's 5?
No, I still think they like Carrasco a little more as of right now.
I liked him when we first got him before he played.
Matt, Carrasco Walker had a 6 ERA last year in the second half.
In the first half, he was an all-star.
You got to prove it. You've seen what Carrasco can do. You've seen him be a solid major league pitcher.
His injuries concern me. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but he had the bone spur removed in his elbow in the offseason. So
he still looks like he looked, though.
I know. Not as bad. He was terrible.
Yes, yeah, it wasn't not as bad, but it's spring training, like you said. So.
We got to see it. We got to see
it in the regular season when he's on the field. I hope Carrasco's not pitching when we go to the home opener.
I'm trying to think.
Right?
Do you want me to calculate it? I can do it.
Let's do this.
No, I got it. I do it in my head. Don't
do it. I'm not. I'm looking at their schedule.
All right, so we've got 4 in Washington. So then
Correct.
Walker would make the first start in Philly on Monday.
Correct.
That's a 3-game set.
I got it.
So Walker, then DeGrom in Philly, Scherzer in Philly.
We're going to see Bassett.
Bassett at the home opener. If everything goes well. That's great. I'd be happy to see that.
I'd be okay with that. I want to see Scherzer, but I'd be okay with that.
I'm going to see Scherzer.
I know you're going to see Scherzer. You're going to watch now. I know.
I can't wait.
You're really going to watch?
He is.
Yeah,
He's going for 1 and 2.
It's all done.
Really?
Sitting in a suite for game 2.
Are you missing the morning show that day?
Yeah, I won't be here.
Oh.
I'll listen.
Sean better call me. I'm just saying.
He's going down there too?
No, I'm saying to fill in.
No.
Anthony, I believe that you should host the Thursday morning
Do it.
show.
Do it.
Yes, I think you should. I think you should do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You should
I
do
would
it.
love that for you.
Just
You
this
should do
Thursday,
that.
of course. This is coming Thursday. I'll be back.
I know you're not replaceable.
Right. I mean, come on.
I know this is a sports show, but I still can't get over like how quickly you attacked me for the microphone. Like I can't get over that. I'm emotionally hurt by that.
Of all the things that were said in this,
I don't care about
minutes.
Listen. I keep going back to the Rangers. I keep going back to last night.
Okay,
you know what I mean.
And what a win!
Okay.
And what a win!
What can we? Let's get to that last 5 minutes. Right. Go ahead.
We have to get to the NFL so quickly.
Back to the microphone.
Yeah.
Back to the microphone.
Oh, Governor Philip Murphy tested positive for COVID.
Oh, no.
He should have lost that election. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Okay, Gordon.
When he was tapping the microphone, Anthony was like going like this and like grabbing the mic and everything, and it was so loud it was picking up on this microphone next to me. So I thought it was just his microphone picking up him touching. I'm like, Anthony, can you stop touching? But it was just this microphone. So he's been touching his microphone, like, I shouldn't say the word, I'm not going to, but
Justin Greenberg, come on.
really all over his microphone the whole time, and we haven't heard it. So it was clearly the other microphone that's standing here not being...
Well, I wonder why they want to replace this stand, but look at this. It's ridiculous.
Right, well, my stand can come out, too.
This one sucks too. Like
I gotta
raise it up and then
gotta stand
down
up.
it goes.
I can't sit still.
Okay, you stand up.
All right, let's get to the football.
We're gonna get to the NFL. Then you want to get to the Rangers at the end? Okay, we'll do that.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
I'm not done.
Okay. What's your
Actually-
final thoughts? Go.
I'm done with the Mets. I do want to say this. Shaheen Holloway has become one of my favorite people on this planet. He is the head coach at St. Peter's, and now
Yes.
the new head coach at Seton Hall University, his alma mater. 6-year contract for him. He had his introductory press conference today, and he did something very special. He had mentioned his 15 players on St. Peter's. They were sitting there in the stands, and he asked everybody to give them a standing ovation, and they did. Went on for like 2 minutes long. He seems like an unbelievable guy. I'm so happy for Seton Hall that they got this guy. What a great hire. I mean, you can't think of a better hire in recent memory other than Buck Showalter for a team and head coach.
He played with Kobe in the McDonald's All-American game, and he was the MVP over Kobe.
I love this guy.
That's insane.
I love this guy, Shaheen Holloway.
I like him too. I want to say Peters to win so, but I think a lot of people did. But
I didn't.
Why, you didn't have money on them?
No.
As he put it when I was texting him about the game, I hammered UNC.
Yeah. No, it's that you kind of want the Duke UNC
Do you really, in
in the Final Four.
Final Four? Yeah, okay.
You want to pick?
Sure.
We did this yesterday. We can pick.
Is this the Texas Tech one?
No.
Oh, you gotta. Well, you did lock yesterday. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I just pick for the weekend. I won't call in tomorrow unless I hear Ben say something stupid while I'm working.
You got to call every Friday now because he does it every Friday.
So, I like Duke to cover the spread and go to the championship. They're gonna win.
Don't mush it.
I have them. I'm doing it. I want to mush it. I hope I mush it because I hate Duke and I hate Coach K.
So you
congratulations, but I hate you.
You know how to say his last name?
Krzyzewski.
Yeah, that's it. God bless you.
And also the under. Anthony actually
I pointed it.
The under in that game.
All right.
Love the under.
51.
All right.
Weight though could go down. It could go up. Excuse me, but
Okay. We will see about that. Anthony, what do you want to say?
Get to the football.
Okay. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. It's Anthony, it's Michael, and it is Matt here with you. Let's get to the NFL now after all that baseball talk for the beginning of the hour, most of the hour.
Wait, hold
really.
on. What are we doing on a prediction show? We gonna do that
for baseball?
Yeah, we'll do playoff teams.
You want to do next Wednesday?
We could do
Will you be here?
Yeah, I should be here.
Okay.
We'll do
If not, we'll do it Tuesday with Dom.
No, I'll be here Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll do playoff teams, like division winners, then wild card teams, then do
MVP,
Cy Young,
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Who
Doesn't matter.
cares?
And then World Series prediction and World Series winner.
Okay.
I have everything done already, but
I'm not done yet. I'm still thinking. On the awards, I'm still thinking. There were division winners I got, but yeah. We'll do that next. We'll pencil it in for next Wednesday.
All
We'll
right,
see.
let's get to the football. Go on.
Okay.
really
Priorities here.
yeah, really, he's rushing.
Uh-huh.
What do you want to talk about?
He hates baseball because his team sucks. That's what it is.
No, he's excited for baseball.
I am.
Okay.
I'm conflicted. I'll put it that way.
I'm sure you are. Anyway, let's get to the NFL. Two big points of breaking news in the NFL. As of last night, Bruce Arians announced he has retired from coaching. He'll take a position in the Bucs front office. And Todd Bowles, former Jets head coach, will be the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going forward. He was selected by Bruce Arians, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. How do we feel about Todd Bowles?
I think that this has been in the works since Brady came back.
Oh!
I don't think Brady wanted him at all.
Oh!
I don't know if anybody remembers. I saw this from Mike Florio a couple of days ago, though, and they remember a time when Brady had first gotten there, and he had talked about Arians criticized him. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Why the hell did Brady want to do this? And we also don't know how that was privately. That was only publicly. And also the structure of practice apparently wasn't that great. But
And Brady's very regimented and all that. So.
My one takeaway from this is one of my Jet fans friends said, we live in a society where Todd Bowles is now coaching Tom Brady. We live in a society.
That's the perfect way to end that. I can't top that. That's great.
Bobby
That's
Wagner
amazing.
signed with the Rams. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner signed with the Rams. I like that for them. I don't know why you wouldn't like
Someone's
Bobby
in
Wagner
a rush
anywhere.
to leave.
No. I like to get my stuff ready to go. I mean, I do have to catch a train. But
You can go now if you want to go.
No.
He's got to talk. He's the biggest Ranger fan here. He's got to talk about it, though.
Okay.
Listen, just quickly. What was I going to say?
Bobby Wagner.
No, I don't care about Bobby Wagner. That's whatever. You add to an already loaded roster, it's going to lose to Tom Brady anyway. It really is crazy that Bowles is like the preferred guy. But hopefully it fulfills Brady's needs. No. Pause.
Yeah.
You go.
Anyway, you want to go, Anthony?
You don't have to play the music. It's all right.
Yeah!
I'm so
The
happy.
New York Rangers.
I am so happy. This year has been such a godsend. I mean, really, this has been like best year since 2015. Best
Wow.
year. Oh, that's obvious because
Yeah.
stunk every single year. But let me tell you,
Wow.
Mr. Ranger fan, Mr. Ranger, what was your assessment of the game last night?
I was out for a beautiful dinner with my mother at Vespa in Farmingdale.
you
Very
didn't
nice
watch the
Italian
game?
restaurant. And it was on,
Okay.
and I watched. I'm so proud of the boys.
What did I tell you?
So happy for you. And he
What-
gave me a pick.
How many of the boys can you name?
A lot of them.
Okay.
He said Adam Fox over a point and a half.
On
a
the PowerPoint. It hit?
It hit.
The PowerPoint thing hit?
Yep.
Power play thing.
PowerPoint, magic.
Power play point.
Went
PowerPoint.
6 out of 7 last night with the props.
Wow. Was it a parlay?
Nope. Individual.
How much money did you make?
Well, I bet $1. I didn't make that much.
Oh, okay. But still, that's decent.
I'm excited. You know, I thought Mike was going to mush the team with the futures bet, but I don't
I
know.
cashed out of that.
You did?
Yeah. I needed money in my FanDuel, and I didn't feel like depositing money. So then
Well, that's our reason. That's why they're doing so good.
maybe I'll put more on them.
No.
After my Villanova bet hits, because they're going to win the championship.
Okay.
Oh.
They're not.
That's bold.
They're not.
Okay.
Maybe I'll put more on the Rangers.
My Houston bet just crapped out.
Well, I mean, everyone thought Houston was going to take it.
I know.
That was a fantastic bet. I
was.
gave them that bet a month and a half ago.
I know you did.
I gave him and Sean that bet a month and a half ago.
I was late to
Villanova
bet
to the
it,
Final
though.
Four.
No.
No,
Houston to
Houston.
win the championship at 50-1.
He gave us that at RC Dugan's our last show. That's how long ago that was.
Really?
Yeah, that's when he called it.
That's how you know I have brain power.
And that's why they're not in it still, right?
Well, then, I bet on the team they were playing to win the championship, Villanova. And it
Okay.
just so happens with my luck, one of their best players goes down.
Okay.
Still feeling good,
If he
though.
doesn't go down, you think they're moving on?
I think they win the championship.
Wow.
I would feel very
Over
confident.
Duke or UNC ever comes out of that matchup?
I heard from a few people that told me this. I don't know how true it is.
Who have you heard from?
My friends in the
Okay.
gambling community.
Okay.
That this line, if Justin Moore for Villanova was playing, would be, instead of 4.5, 1. It'd be can't be fair by 1 point.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how big of a loss this kid is.
What's the next show on after this?
You want to say it?
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know how to say it either.
Wow, look at
Kim,
that
you wanna come say
opposite
it?
field home run by somebody.
Stay tuned because Profume d'Italia with Rita Monte is coming up in about 2 minutes.
Is that in person, that show?
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Oh, not today,
Not
right?
today because of potential illness.
Oh.
It's okay. No, it's probably fine.
So, Kim, that's why you're in here. You got to set everything up.
Yeah.
Or does things have
Were
to...
you interviewing Kim now?
No, I'm just saying.
The one day where we weren't.
We didn't have Corey here.
Yeah.
Why? Where's Corey?
Corey says that every week.
Oh, really?
Yes, stay tuned. Rita's up next. Thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk. For Anthony Deus and Michael Merlo, I am Matt Leonard saying thank you for listening on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.